Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. We are at Queen Street and River Street East. That's looking eastbound on Queen, southbound on River, and of course northbound. So I am now going to be walking westbound on Queen, on the north side of Queen. And it's good to be back. I hope everybody is doing well. It's been like a hot minute since I have recorded. Let me explain. Everything is all good. The problem was we were in Florida, I think it was November, November. So we went to New York and I filmed there. And then we went to Florida and I tried to film there, but my gimbal, which hosts my GoPro camera, was acting up. And we thought it was just a battery issue, so we changed the battery and that didn't work. So then I tried to record just holding my GoPro camera. While we were in Florida, I tried to get some shots. If any of those shots are salvageable, I'll attach them to the end of this video. So I couldn't record. That was really unfortunate. The good news is I it was an early Christmas present. The camera that I'm currently using, it's teeny tiny. It's I think a D1 or a D2. I'll put the specifics in my description. It's a third the size of my gimbal and GoPro, that combined dual set. It's like a third the size. It's super lightweight. I love it. I can just stick it in my pocket. I don't have to take it out of my knapsack, and it's easy peasy. I'm totally loving it. It zooms, which, if you guys may recall, I have been wanting a zoom on my camera for a long time, so I've got that. And this is Sumac Street looking northbound. It's a beautiful day. And so it tilts and it zooms. A bit of a challenge with trying to zoom with gloves on. I did get this camera a while ago, and I'm embarrassed to say it, but I'm going to be totally transparent. I took this camera out on 3 other separate occasions and thought I was recording. So first time I went to the starting point of my walk, and then I tried to turn on the camera, and I was really pressing the button too hard and it wouldn't turn on, so I couldn't figure out what was wrong until we got home. I got home and David helped me figure out what the problem was. I mean, I could work it at home, but for some reason, anyhow, I was pressing it too hard. So that's the first time. Second time, I was using I think it was the zoom. No, I was using the tilt function, and I locked it in place so it was facing the sky. So the whole video, it was facing the sky and building rooftops. So yeah, it's okay for maybe a second or two of footage, but certainly not a half an hour walk. So that was a dumb move. But anyhow, so I thought I'm going to try it the third time. And the third time, and we're not sure what happened. The video starts with me saying I'm back, and I remember actually saying that, but I was recording before that. But what happened was the camera, I think, turned off. So anyhow, that whole video, it didn't make sense. And there's no point in me doing any type of voiceover when the camera missed half of my walk. So, this is a user error, and I admit to that. I can't imagine it being the camera. I think it's just me trying to get used to this camera. And certainly not doing a very good job. It is Boxing Day today, and when I left home, there were some flurries. Now it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and as I said, I'm walking westbound on Queen Street, right downtown Toronto, and it's so nice out now. It's -6 and bright sky. It's a bit overcast when I left the house this morning. Left about 8:30, but now at 1 o'clock it is calm and blue skies and just a nice day. This is the Good Shepherd Ministries, and this church that we're coming upon, I think it's one of the first churches in Toronto. Yeah, it says here 200th anniversary. So let me just fill you in a little bit more. We went to Florida, and we do that probably once a year. Of course, not with the pandemic, but we did go last year. It was nice to be back, and we went this year. David and I have like a whole routine kind of set up, and we're quite comfortable down there. So we spent some time down there, and then back home. Just seems busy with getting ready for Christmas and all that jazz. The other thing was I actually contracted COVID. Good news is it wasn't debilitating. But I had brain fog. If you heard anybody else talk about it with regard to COVID, it really was rather alarming, the sensation of brain fog. And the way I'd describe it for me was couldn't focus really well. I'm not talking about my sight, but as far as following like what I was reading, I wasn't doing a good job being able to concentrate. So whatever I'd be reading, I kept reading the same line over and over. This is Parliament Street. So I kept reading the same line over and over, so I gave up reading. Had no problem watching television though. That's sort of a numbing experience for me anyhow, so it didn't take any necessary level of concentration that reading might take. And I had a headache, and that was it. I had a tickle in my throat, sort of like I'd cough a bit. But the worst of it probably lasted 3 days, but I tested positive. I think it was 7. It was either 5 or 7 days. So pretty much stayed inside. I did go out for walks in the neighborhood just to get some air. And David and I slept in different bedrooms just to make sure that he didn't get it. The funny thing is, we were together the whole time. I'm thinking maybe I contracted the virus at the airport. I'm thinking we wore our masks in the airport. We wore our masks on the plane. But who's to say you're not going to get it? Anyway, so we slept in different bedrooms, and if I was on the main floor, then he'd be upstairs. If I was needing to go upstairs, spend any time up there, he'd come downstairs, just to avoid, as much as we could, sort of keep a controlled atmosphere where he didn't have to breathe in my air. So yeah, so that was interesting. Wouldn't want that again. It was the brain fog thing that really I didn't like. If I had to make a serious decision, I don't think I would have been capable. I just felt like I couldn't focus and couldn't think clearly. But that's all over with now. Let's hope I don't get it again. I've had 5 vaccinations, 5 COVID vaccinations. And the last vaccination, we also did a flu shot. So I got my 5th COVID vaccination and a flu shot. Still got COVID. Yeah. So that is that. You know, I think I've taken you guys down this walk before because I remember pointing out Kim's convenience to you. But, you know, coming down, walking the same pathway will always change. It will always be different because every day is different. The lighting will be different. Snow on the ground, no snow on the ground. People in front of you, no people in front of you. New construction happening. So, every day's a new day. Oh, it's nice and bright out. Oh, feels good walking on this side of the street. Normally I don't like walking if it's too sunny. There's much sun on me, but I'm sort of welcoming it right now. Although I'm dressed well, I'm warm. It's still nice having a little bit of warm sun on my face for a moment or two. I'd like to know how everybody's doing. You can leave a comment below if you like. As I said, you know, everything's good now for me. Everything's good with David. Everything's all good with our family. Thank goodness, touch wood. This is Sherbourne? Yeah, this is Sherbourne Street. That's looking northbound. You can see what a nice day it is, and you can see how quiet it is. So when I left the house early this morning, like left around 8:30, and I walked down here, and I'm gonna jaywalk. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, hardly any traffic. So I was like and I walked straight down Yonge Street from like the Yonge and Davisville neighborhood. And there was maybe just a couple of pedestrians on, you know, walking south on Yonge Street. And hardly any traffic, like vehicle traffic. And even here, look at Queen Street as we're heading towards the core of downtown, and there's hardly any traffic. Like, this is a rarity. Now, it's 1 o'clock even in the afternoon right now, and there's hardly any car traffic. When I look west for oncoming traffic, there's nothing there. And here we are at Moss Park. So hopefully this video turns out, and if it turns out, then I'm feeling more confident to record. But yeah, I had, as I mentioned, 3 failed recordings previously to this one. So fingers crossed this turns out and I can post. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I do apologize for not recording the last couple of months. But like I said, that GoPro camera was fine, but the gimbal was was acting up. And I hadn't even had that gimbal for 2 years because I started recording my walks in January 2021. Yeah, January 2021. Yeah, that sounds right. So it's less than 2 years old because I did get that gimbal and that camera that Christmas of 2020. Then I started recording in January. Oh well. I'm just lucky and happy that I've got this camera. It was an early Christmas present, as I said, and so happy to be back at it. I hope to be doing certainly more recordings. I've been missing you guys. I've been missing recording. Here's the Fred Victor, one of the Fred Victor locations. This is a good organization. They help, well, I'm going to probably butcher this, but they help people in need sort of find meaning again and help them with, I think, working, finding jobs and housing. Now this store here is new, right across the street where the camera is angling. It's called the Creamery. It is new because what used to be there not that long ago was a cannabis store, and then it was vacant for quite a while. And now it looks like an ice cream. Frozen custards and vegan ice creams. Not in the mood for that now, but I can see wanting to try that out in the warmer weather. That's looking south on Jarvis. Yeah, they're closed today. It is Boxing Day after all. So yesterday, David and Philip were watching football. They were watching football and basketball all day long, all day. And I was baking. I made a tart, and that took a long time because the pastry dough is delicate, and it needs to be chilled, and then it needs to be rolled out, and then it's kind of a bit of a process. But it ended up turning out to be really yummy. We have so much sweets and like so much sweet food in our house right now. Chocolates and baking. And earlier I had made chocolate chip cookies, and then I made shortbread cookies that were okay. They weren't outstanding. The chocolate chip nut ones were really good, but the shortbread, I just can't seem to master that shortbread recipe. It can be fickle, at least for me. Anyhow, so we have that. Caramelized popcorn, which is really a weakness for me. Like caramel popcorn is so delicious. I will sometimes just eat a bag of that for a meal, an actual meal. Which, of course, as we all know, is not a wise choice. So, of course, then I, don't feel that great after. But you'd think, I'd learn, and nope, it just doesn't work out that way. So I do it less than I used to do it. I don't eat junk food for main meals like I used to. I still will probably always do it, but I'm sure far less frequently. Now we're at church and Queen. right into the main core of downtown we're heading towards. This is the Metropolitan United Church. I've always liked the look of this church. Like with the stained glass above the entry. Let's try and get a better angle of that. Oh, let me try zooming. Let me try my zoom. This is where I screwed up last time, so I'm a little bit nervous right now to try it, but let's see. Now, that's tilting. Bear with me, folks. Okay, I think we're back on track. The thing is, there's I have to actually touch the screen. I didn't have a screen before, like a view screen. I did, but it didn't last more than 5 seconds in view mode. Couldn't figure out to make it last like the duration of my walks. But this view screen is active during my whole walk. Let me just make sure about something here. Yeah, I think that's okay now. Yeah, so I think that was okay. But all I did was tilt. I do have to play with the zoom still a little bit. I thought I was doing the zoom, but I was doing the tilt. Anyhow, not your concern. I will figure it out. I hope, at least. Yeah, I will. I'll figure it out. Because when I first started my YouTube channel and I was recording, I had also done several walks. Not several. I had done some walks totally screwed up. I totally screwed up on my first initial walks. Because the first time, what I did was I didn't have the GoPro. I had like a chest mount. So what that means is it's like a strap, like a harness that I would wear almost. And then I would place the camera, and it's sort of right in the middle of my chest. So I thought that would be good. That was not good. No, I don't know the purpose of that. I can't imagine anybody getting good footage with a chest mount camera. So then we got the GoPro, and I think my first video, I think I screwed up. I love this artwork. Oh, let me try zooming. Let me try zooming here. Let's try it. You can do this. Oh, you can do this. She did it. Hooray. I did it. Oh, that makes me happy. Okay. And then I think, yeah, one or two, not so good videos, initial videos. And then I think things got a lot better. So that was just under 2 years using that GoPro, but the gimbal, but the GoPro, the camera itself is still functional. So I was thinking this morning, maybe what I'll do with that GoPro camera is maybe put it on my bike helmet or mount it on my bike somehow. So in the summer, when we go out for cycling excursions, I can record that too. Anyhow, folks, we're at Yonge and Queen Street. I'm looking at Saks Fifth Avenue, looking southbound on Yonge. It's busy, busy. And I'm going to head into the Eaton Center. Dare I? Yes, I shall. This concludes today's video. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. This is Boomer Girl Walking, signing off.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. We are in Miami Beach, Florida, and I'm currently located at South Point Park. We tried to get in the like the sun going down, but we just missed it. You can see it on the horizon there. And this body of water that we're looking at, this is where the boats come in, like the cargo boats. You see several of them coming through here, and during the day, and cruise ships as well. It's just a beautiful, beautiful evening. And I'm actually holding my GoPro camera because my gimbal, which is the component that actually holds my camera to keep it steady during filming, is not functioning. So I'm trying to be super steady. And I think any footage that I'm able to do out here in Florida will be handheld. So, and there's not going to be a lot of it because I won't be able to walk and be steady with my hand well enough to not make us all nauseous watching the video. And here is outdoor yoga. The interesting thing here, David and I were out here earlier in the week, and the people doing yoga here were like incredibly amazing. Like they were doing handstands on the handstand of their partner. See, look at this person right here, like amazing. Now, I don't know, you can see in the distance there's two people, one on the ground and the girl is on top, and see how they are moving with such ease and such grace, and like powerful, very, very powerful abdominal muscles, leg muscles, arm muscles, like amazing physical shape these people are in.